Some things never change.
Good or afternoon, actually. I think we're ready to go ahead and get started with our Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. It is 12:04 p.m. Look, can we do a call to order, please?
Monica Isham, Julia Lyons,
Here.
Grant Gerber, Mike Markran,
Here.
Mike Waller,
Here.
Lorraine Gauger, Doug Marotek, Bruce Poquette, Katie Bellinger, John Yuckel, Mark Helwig,
Here.
Elaine Smith, Marshall Savitsky, Kathy McCoy, Bill Trepanier. You have a quorum.
Okay. Oh, and stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's see if we can follow this agenda. Can we get a certification of compliance with the open meetings law?
This meeting was noticed to the media and public as required by Section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Okay, any adjustments to the meeting agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move forward. Are there any public comments?
I don't know. I don't know if it should go under public comments or not. I think I do have, Dave Dixon is here. Dave? Is that Dave? Dave? Oh, hi. I wanted to introduce Dave Dixon is here, and I think he's interested in perhaps taking Grant's position.
Okay.
I see we have that later on the agenda, so I didn't know if you want me to introduce him now, or you want to wait till then, or?
Yeah, and I didn't get a hold of Grant. Did you get a hold of Grant?
I think Dave has talked to Grant, right?
Okay, so we can probably do that. We'll do that when we get to that section. Let's do that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Dave.
So we'll get Dave. Okay. Moving on to the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting, and the last meeting was October 8th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion was made and seconded. Does there any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Minutes have been accepted. Okay, so we're going to move on to resignation of Judge Isham. The letter has been presented here, and we just haven't really had some great meetings happening along the way. Oh, you got Judge Smith? Yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to make a comment that I was looking at the bylaws, and under removal, there's no language about resignation, and I would assume that sometimes members may want to resign or have to resign for maybe health reasons or whatever. And so I'm just wondering if that should be something that we should look at
We
as
add?
well. Thank you.
Yes. I can't remember where we
Do we
saw
need
that.
an approval of this resignation then? A motion to approve?
Now I gotta go back. Mike, do you remember what we said? If they resigned. See, we do have, if an officer resigns or removed, a replacement officer shall be elected by the CJCC at the next regular scheduled meeting. So it's on page 10 of 24 in here. So I think we just need, well, it probably wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and accept the resignation, so.
I make a motion to approve the resignation of Judge Isham.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have, yes, with regret. Okay, any discussion? Besides the fact that we are regretting having her not be a part, and as we move forward, this is really just the resignation from the chair position right now. Okay, and any further discussion? If not, all in favor with aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, then we move on to appointment of a chair and possible action.
I make a motion to have Julie Lyons move on as the chair. Second.
Are there any others that would be a potential? Oh, okay, then with that motion being made, all in favor with aye? Opposed? Okay, motion carries. So now,
I would like to make a motion or nominate Judge Smith for the position of vice chair.
I will second that motion.
you good? Okay.
You've been up there before.
I just want to make, I haven't talked to her about that. Okay, any more discussion? Any others? I'm not sure that I'm following the Roberts rules quite.
Let's get a motion.
Any others? Three, did I do two?
I'll move that nominations be closed and that we cast a unanimous vote for Judge Smith.
Thank you.
as vice
I should have
chair.
brought my book with me. Okay. Okay, then we will go ahead and for Judge Smith as vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Okay, Judge Smith, welcome on board. Okay, moving along, bylaws. So, we need to make some amendments to the bylaws and have some discussion about a couple of things. One of the things is, obviously with the resignation, it is clear under, for the officers, but I don't think it is in here in any other place for the resignation on any other member. So we can get that added. We also need to make sure, I think this one said that we might need do we need 3/4 to be able to adjust this? I think so. Kathy, do you remember? Because you,
2/3.
2/3, okay. Do we have that? Okay,
We could fill the position for Grant and
Yeah.
then Mr. Dixon would be
And
a
get that-
member. and
oh,
be
bring that
part
forward.
of our quorum, yes.
so, did I have membership on here? Under this one. Okay,
11C.
so let's go ahead and move to C on the accepting new members. And let me just double check, because I think, Mike, is this the one where you? That was it. I'm sorry, we have HHS membership happening at the same time, so I'm getting my boards mixed up. New position appointed. Okay, it's on page 8 of 24. CJCC may recommend to the county board the positions be added. Oh, that's just positions, not members. That's removal. If removed. Sufficient cause determined, okay, so,
I have one question. Do we have to get something written from Grant that he wants to be replaced?
I don't see
Doesn't
it
look
on
like
here. It looks like we can just remove because the member,
Thirds vote.
So why don't we go ahead with that? We can perhaps make a motion to remove Grant and appoint Dave?
I think actually if Dave wouldn't mind speaking, I'm not sure he's totally on board. Are you?
Oh,
is with
okay,
accepting
come on up.
Obviously, that I just had asked him to attend, hoping that he would accept the position, and he was going to talk to Grant too, so he can probably maybe.
Do you want to come up and let us know kind of you can go right up to the mic and let us know your thoughts? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you've been here before, but.
Hi, I'm Dave, Dave Dixon. I taught and coached in the Hayward School District for 17 years. I moved up here in 2000. Was a football coach and teacher for 36-year sentence in public schools. So I know some of you had some of your children, a lot of your children, I guess. Retired 10 years ago. Now, recently I've come out of retirement. I've been recruited by Timber Bay to run our Timber Bay Ministries, faith-based ministry here in Hayward for at-risk kids. I talked to Grant Monday night, and he no longer wishes to be part of this group. And after I had talked to Kathy, and I told her that I would come today, and I do have an interest of being on the board. There's people here that I would like to be in contact with on a regular basis as far as our relationship with Timber Bay and working with at-risk kids. So I would think I would have some input, having been in the Hayward area and dealing with youth for the past 25 years, so 26 years, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that impromptu introduction and putting you on the spot. Well, personally, I think that you would be wonderful to have on here, but I am a non-voting member now, so we'll just need to move forward with a motion really for Grant to no longer be on and Dave to replace him.
I'll make a motion that as our community member, that Grant no longer be a member of the Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee due to lack of interest and unavailability.
Okay, so we'll first remove Grant Gerber.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we need a motion for a replacement member for Grant.
I'll make a motion to accept Dave Dixon as a member of the CJCC, replacing Grant.
I'll second that too.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Pardon?
Yep, just choose a seat and come on
I'll
board.
be that comfortable close to there.
Yeah, you really don't really have a whole lot. You're going to sit somewhere by law enforcement.
I was gonna say, I know these three, but on a professional level.
Personal, yeah.
Right.
Yes, yes. Okay, so the other thing that I don't know if we need to actually place Amanda in the position, but we have a replacement position set up for, what am I looking for? My minutes, here we go. Yes, so we have Amanda Locker on, and she is going to be taking the place of our public defender, and we basically have state public defender office representative, but we could maybe motion that Amanda is in that seat. Amanda, can you turn your video on just so they can see you? She's online. Thank you. She has, I don't know if volunteer or voluntold to be part of our CJCC. Can you let everybody know where you're at and
Sure. So quick introduction. I started as a legal secretary for the Public Defender's Office here in Spooner. And I was here for about 2 years, and my predecessor, Linda Isaacson, retired back in August, and I was promoted to her position. So I'm fairly new in my role here, but I've been working on making some changes in our offices. We actually cover 7 counties, Sawyer being one of them, Washburn, Burnett, Douglas, Ashland, Bayfield, and Iron. So we have 3 offices that I help cover. So I thank you for letting me attend today.
thank you. And so let's officially get her on as our representative for the position. And then we can move over back over to the A. Locker, Amanda Locker. Lokker, I believe, because I was close enough to the screen earlier.
I make a motion to bring on Amanda Locker in the
Public defender.
public defender's position.
Second.
There you
Can't
go.
break your roll now, Marshall. We have a first and a second to bring on Amanda Locker in the public defender's position. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's get ourselves back to, well, actually, we're going to go up to B because I think that might end up changing the bylaws a little bit. So B, meeting frequency. And actually D, we'll have to cover both of those before we get into like the true bylaw discussion. So meeting frequency, we were talking a bit about trying to get that executive committee up and running, and it's a lot to do every single month of CJCC and have an executive committee functioning. So there was discussion on would we want to have the CJCC meet every other month, the executive committee meet on the off months so that work can be done and brought back to the committee. So thoughts, comments on whether we should do that or we keep going with our regular schedule?
I think it's a good idea, but not yet. And the
Okay.
reason I say that is because we're going to have a number of new members coming on, and I think it would be nice to meet as a group still for at least a couple months, because we're looking at doing designations for the judge positions, you know? And that would be 2 new people. We have Mr. Dixon, who is new. We have Amanda, who is new. So I think it would be nice for those new people and for us as a group to keep meeting for at least a couple months until we get the executive committee kind of up and running, and at that point, review it. That's
Okay.
just my opinion at this point, right?
Others?
So you're saying continue on
Monthly.
monthly until we get the executive?
Until we get
Committee going?
memberships really up and running, new members up and running on here.
And then go every other month?
And potentially, if we need to make that move to go to that. So we don't even have to make a motion or
Right,
anything.
we'll
It's
make
kind of a
that
discussion
at
at
that
this
time.
point. Yep.
I like
I
that.
think Kathy has a good point.
Yep.
I support her point of
With that.
view here.
I saw Lorraine nodding. Can you put there you go.
Can you hear me? I support that also, and then Bill Trepanier still wants to be involved in the committee, so I just wanted to get that out if you haven't mentioned that yet.
Great. No, I did not get a chance to mention that. I should have said that when we're talking about members. So yes, so, okay, so that, it will not change in the bylaws. Then the other piece that we talked about is D, meeting participation and allowing designees to represent members.
I'd like to make a motion that we amend the bylaws to read under Section A, membership, number A, 2 Sawyer County Circuit Court judges or their designee or designees. And the same with under item K, LCO tribal judge or designee.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to add or designee to item A, 2 Sawyer County Circuit Judges or designee, LCO tribal judge or designee. Any discussion or other areas that we want to add designee?
I think you probably need to do a roll call vote because it has to have a 2/3 majority.
Okay, so so first off, let's go ahead and, is there any other areas? Would it be, Bruce, do you need a designee? Would you ever send anybody in your stay?
I guess, in my opinion, I'm conflicted because I would want the elected official to actually be here. But it's on.
There it is
Now
now.
it's on. I guess I would want the elected official to be here, whether it's the DA or the judge. So, I mean, I understand why this committee is willing to allow a designee to come, and that makes sense to me. But I think it's important that the judges are here, that the DA is here. So I'm not asking you to put a designee for me, no.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, he already has a designee.
Oh, yes.
In Section A.
In where?
In Section A.
So I don't,
It's letter, so if you look at A, B, C, D, A through L there.
Oh, you do have a
Yeah,
designee.
district attorney
Sorry, I
does.
can't read.
So we need to clarify, I guess, again, what are we adding? that's
Okay,
not
at
there?
this point, we're having discussion of adding designee to A and K.
I just wanted to add that I'm the only judge, and I'm usually always here, and I really don't have anybody to designate
Okay,
who would be able to fill in for me, so I don't think I need a designee.
okay.
I will try my best to be here.
Well, as vice chair.
No, you can use this, it's right here.
Okay, so now,
Is there, hate to interrupt you, was there any designee for the leadership? For the times that we have to go on travel and call the meetings, saying we can't be here, if somebody could fill in? Was it ever appointed?
no, I don't think we have designee on F, two tribal government representatives.
Between the two of us, we either both will be here, or we're trying to, at least one of us be here. He's on travel at this moment. However, who would be the designee? We appoint that,
Whoever you would,
whoever we recommend and direct to take?
I think that would get to be really messy because you could have a different person every single month. I mean, I think the idea with, and I agree with Judge Smith 100%. I would much rather see the judge here than a designee. But I guess when I'm speaking of designee, it would be somebody that, and I don't know how, maybe we need to approve that designee, you know, so that it is one person, because I don't want a continual turnover. So maybe it should be that it would be the circuit court judge or their designee as approved by the Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee, something to that effect, because I don't want them sending somebody different. That gets back to Judge Smith's point too, every single month, because that doesn't really help us then, right?
okay, so I don't know that we can change, do we need to vote down this motion and then go with another motion?
Could do a friendly amendment if the one who made the motion would accept that change.
Okay. And you made the motion in the first place. You- Yeah, go ahead and make an amendment to not have the designee with her.
It would be a designee, but as approved by.
Yeah, it's in both areas. Okay.
So I'll make a motion to add the language after A, or designee as approved by CJCC. And that is the only change for
And
members.
do you want to keep K on there? And remove it, and do the same thing with K, with the designee, with the,
No designee.
and no designee? So you're changing that piece of it, and no designee for K.
No designee for K.
So do we have that? We're doing a friendly amendment of changing the Sawyer County judges with designee as approved by the CJCC, and we won't be having a designee for the tribal judge. Okay, we'll need a second for that.
Pick me. I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Need a roll call.
We're voting on the amendment. Thank
Oh, we
you.
made an amendment, or did we do a friendly amendment?
Voting on the friendly amendment of,
'Cause if
let's
it's a
just kind of
fri-
clarify.
If
We're,
it's a friendly amendment, then I can just say I agree with that, so can the second, right? And then it's okay? We don't have to, right?
but everybody has to, oh, yeah, you can just agree. Oh, I see. We have to agree on the amendment.
I agree,
Okay.
and does the second agree? Who is the second?
Do you agree?
Marshall agrees, okay, so now
Okay.
we're back to.
Now we can actually vote whether we are going to allow the designee as motioned. All in favor?
We need a roll call vote.
Oh, we need a roll call. So that is going to go over. Thank you.
Okay, let me just make sure I get this straight for the minutes. So it got kind of wild. So the original motion was Kathy McCoy, second Marshall Savitsky, to amend Section A and K of Section A regarding the designees, to add the word "or designee." And then a friendly amendment was made and agreed upon by the first original motioners, made by Judge Smith and seconded by Marshall Savitsky, to add the language designee as approved by CJCC to A for the Sawyer County Circuit Court judges, but no change to K LCO tribal judge. Does that sound correct to everybody? So that's what's going in the minutes. And then we will have a roll call vote on that. And is this a 2/3 vote?
2/3.
Which you have 10 out of 15, so this would have to be unanimous if it's gonna, okay. So going with the so should this roll call vote be the new members with Julia as chair now, or not yet? That's gonna make it complicated, but that's a weird question, huh?
The existing board.
The existing board as when we entered this session, okay. So Monica Isham, Julia, and I guess please indicate aye or nay for this motion. Julia Lyons,
Aye.
Grant Gerber, Mike Markran,
Aye.
Mike Waller,
Aye.
Lorraine,
Aye.
Doug Marotek,
Aye.
Bruce Poquette, Katie Bellinger,
Aye.
John Yackel, Mark Helwig, Judge Smith, Marshall Savitsky,
Aye.
Kathy McCoy, Bill Trepanier. Motion carried. We just agreed that it was the existing board at the time the session was called to order.
Luckily, we have somebody who knows our orders, our rules. Okay. I know that we brought up some other things that we wanted to look up with our change in the bylaws. Obviously, we don't have language for that right now. But can we just quickly cover what people want us to be looking at so that we can look at that language and bring that back to another meeting? I think we talked about how to do resignations. Oh,
Excuse me. As you stated, Madam Chairman, it is in the language for resignation. Let's see, where is that? I know I saw it here. Oh, it's
Page
under
10.
officers.
Yes.
So it does say if an officer resigns or is removed, and so it would just be
Adding
taking that language and matching it, to recognize that there will be instances where there may be a resignation.
So we can get that added. Are there other things that people noted in the bylaws? Okay. Well, if there is anything else, please reach out and let us know, and we can get that added for the next agenda. Okay, we are needing to kind of move along here. CJCC Executive Committee did not meet, so we will see if we can get that up and in place. Moving on to jail report.
Thank you. December of '25, we've seen an average of 68 inmates daily, 12 of those being females, 56 males. Average probation incarceration was at 21. Pre-sentence incarceration was at 25. Sentence incarceration at 22. We currently have 4 on electronic monitoring. There were 60 inmates at the date that this report was generated, with an unemployment rate of 72%.
Any questions? As you'll note in there, because we didn't have a quorum for a couple of meetings, we have all of the jail reports in from the last couple of months. Anything further? Yep, then we'll go ahead. Yeah.
Can I just ask,
Oh, yes.
where are we at with medicated assistance in the jail? In terms of not just individuals who are already in that program, but providing that program to inmates that are not currently in that program when they come into our system?
It's currently a work in progress. We got the MOU back from the tribe. So LCO is coming in-house, doing injections with inmates. I believe we're doing very well with it, so.
And so is it everybody or just LCO?
Currently, it's just set up for LCO tribal members.
Okay, so how are we moving forward getting it set up for anybody who wants to purchase?
That's what we're working on, so
Okay.
it's still a work in process, so.
Great,
Thank you.
thank you.
I wanted to ask, for the employment piece, is there only so many who have that privilege to work, or is that full, or is there always openings, or how does that work?
Nope, so you have to be sentenced with Huber privileges with a job, and there's a criteria that you have to meet, reside in the county. There's a number of them. I think Becky can probably answer some of those better, but you have to be a sentenced inmate with a job, reside in the county.
And then there are things.
Oh, Becky, sorry.
Once you're.
And once that approval goes through the Huber deputy, there's a list of things that the Huber deputy has to complete. There's home inspections, things like that. But the big things on the front end, the prereqs, are somebody has to be employed at least 32 hours a week, and they have to live in county. We actually just had a request for somebody out of county, but we just can't do that.
And can you clarify, because we aren't doing Huber where they're coming back at night, they're actually at home.
Correct.
And I
Yeah,
don't
there
know
is
that
no
everybody knows
Huber
that. Yeah.
Yep.
used to exist. Everybody who is eligible for Huber, like what previously was, has the opportunity to go on electronic monitoring if they're approved.
And how many did you say was on there?
I believe this month there were 4.
4?
Yep.
Things changed at the end.
So they can go on electronic monitor even if they don't have a job?
No,
No.
they have to have a job, at least 32 hours a week.
A job
We
or-
have had people who are on disability, and then we do like community service options for those individuals.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, yeah, Sheriff.
I would just like to additionally mention, on behalf of the jail report and the sheriff's office, with the retirement of Chief Joe Sedera, we have promoted a new chief deputy, Brian Dale. Brian Dale has been our detective for the past 9 years and previously was a road patrol sergeant, patrol deputy, and also worked in the jail. So he does come with a pretty extensive background in our sheriff's office. And with that, we welcome Chief Dale. We're also going to do our best to have him attend so that he will be our primary designee between the lieutenant and I, as well as if we're unable to make it.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you.
Any other updates under the jail report? If not, I think we have Sarah here. Oh, not Sarah, sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Becky, we're doing Justice Point. I saw justice and I had youth justice in my head, not Justice Point.
I'll try to be quick. Okay, so where we're at with numbers, the month of December, we had 119 active pretrial supervision. There were 8 successful completions for supervision in December. 5 were unsuccessful. Diversion, 14 active, 5 pending referrals, 1 unsuccessful. Treatment court for December, 4 active individuals, I believe 1, he graduated in November, but we do have a graduation today, which is big. So if anybody has the opportunity, treatment court is at 2 o'clock in branch 2. We also have Marsha Shizik here from DOJ to do our recovery court site visit today. So if anybody has any questions, we're going to be available after recovery court. So if you have questions directly for her. Reaching rural, we're still waiting on our site visit feedback, but they gave us that direct feedback the day they were here, although we didn't have a quorum. So as soon as I get that feedback, I will send that on. Jail program updates. I printed out a list of current program that we have in place, and so everybody has a copy of that. I just want to reinforce too with jail programs, there's a lot that goes into getting them up and running, vetting those programs, making sure all those professional visitors are approved and have their background checks. We have had a few bumps in the past month or two, and Lieutenant and I have met with those individuals to make sure that that doesn't continue to happen, because we can't bring anybody into the secure area of the jail without an approval. But there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes. As always, if anybody has any ideas for new jail programs, we're open to those ideas, but it does take a process, so let me know. I also passed out bingo and Snap Fitness flyers. Those are ongoing deflection events. If anybody wants an electronic copy, we can get you a copy of that. But I would appreciate you spreading the word.
You should, why don't you send me an electronic copy and we can get it put on our
Okay.
Facebook post?
Okay. I said I was going to be quick, so I think that's pretty much everything. Is there questions? Yes, and I apologize that it took us so long. So we were previously having somebody create the flyers for us. We have now brought that in-house as of this week. So Rebecca will now create those flyers directly, and we don't have to wait for somebody to send them to us.
Anything else for Becky?
Okay, I assume I'll see you all at 2.
Okay, moving on to Health and Human Services report. Jess, do you have any updates at all that you wanted to give? I'm just didn't know if you came or you're just listening in today. Okay. The public health report is there, probably doesn't really pertain a whole lot to what we've got going on. We have, I guess what I can say is we have been meeting for our overdose I don't even remember what we call that group, overdose prevention, and, yeah, we're changing the name. So we've been meeting quarterly on that, we will continue to meet quarterly, but adding new members as we move forward, kind of moving it into more of moving from like understanding the numbers to making recommendations and moving forward with those recommendations at a community level. Part of this is post-engagement with TALCOP and kind of thinking about what our next steps should be. So Jess runs that group, and so that is kind of where that is going. And then Sarah, do you have anything else you want to report out on today? Your youth justice report has been included. Oh, that was from September anyways, not your November one.
Few things, I'll be short too. So for our diversion program, we are feeling really successful with the results that we are seeing, especially being that we didn't really get up and moving until kind of mid last year. So it's been like a 6 months of really good working and programming. We have 18 kids at this point in the school year who still have perfect attendance, who were not attending at all last year. So I think that is a huge success on its own. I don't have a lot to update YJ-wise. We did have one of our kiddos who went to the Challenge Academy. He graduated, successfully completed the program, and we feel like we've only had 2 kids go to the Challenge Academy, but that's where we are really seeing good results and change in our youth. It's difficult to watch as we send them to residential centers and they come back and we put all this money and effort into them and we bring them back and it's right back into the same behaviors. So whenever possible, we are going to try to utilize the Challenge Academy, and fiscally wise, it's a free program, but the kind of the catch to it is kids have to be willing to go. You can't order them to go to this program, which makes it a little bit more difficult.
And what age do they have to be? That's the other.
Yes, they have to be, and it's hard because we have so many under this age that we would love to send, but they have to be 16 years and 9 months to be able to go. And then no matter how far behind they are on their credits, once they finish that program, they automatically have their high school diploma as well. So yeah. What else? We also recently formed kind of a gang task force crew. Darren Jensen is leading this. We have Susie Taylor from LCO as part of the meetings as well, and then city and county law enforcement is there as well. We also, in November, we had the state work with us on a deep dive into some of our youth justice numbers and statistics that they can pull up through the state system. And I plan on putting together a larger presentation surrounding this information that was found. But the gist of it was, let's see, our delinquency numbers are consistently in the top 5 to 7% of the state. We have more serious type offenses, which I know you all have heard me talk about, are having the higher risk youth versus other counties where you have the low risk to moderate risk. Ours seem to be like moderate at the very least, but there are way more high-risk kids. So this is also compared to Wisconsin overall averages and small, like comparative county averages. So I'm going to be, like I said, putting more of a presentation together on that information, but just giving a little mini heads up as of today. Any questions for me?
What is the rate of Native youth?
I don't know that that was specifically found in this, but I would, when I do the bigger presentation, I can see if I can dive more into that for specifics. I know kind of like we sit, when I come meet with you guys and we talk about things, or whether it's in this meeting, the majority of our YJ youth are our Native American kiddos. So I don't know the exact numbers, but I can do more on that for you as well.
Then how many did you have altogether, did you say? Because you mentioned 18 students being successful within the school setting, but how many were altogether?
I think we've had a total of, I want to say 38 referrals since the
truancy
program
diversion,
started
yeah.
in diversion. That's different than youth justice.
I just wanted to say, in the truancy court, I have seen where the program is making a difference, because there were instances where the families would not take education seriously or take truancy seriously. And so since they're being referred, the family gets involved and the children are going to school. So I think they're paying attention, and I hope that we get good results, because, you know, we're always stressing education and their need for it. So hopefully they'll pay attention when they get referred, so can continue to have some success.
I think we're going to continue to see these really great results. And, you know, there are some that have dropped off from the program because they moved out of state or they turned 18. And so, I mean, I said from the beginning, this isn't going to be a perfect program. Truancy is a really hard beast to tackle because there's not a whole lot of kind of punitive measures behind it. There's not a lot that we can do for both parents and kids who don't go to school without the, like, saying we can make court-ordered conditions for both. I mean, even if they don't follow, there's not a ton of punitive measures behind that. But I think what I've also talked about is using more of the motivational techniques and using incentives and rewards that really has a lot of our kids' attention as well. So.
Yeah, because I think any preventative measure is important, and you want to acknowledge those successes and to keep them going on that track. How many, were those students all in Hayward School, or the tribal school, or did they split up all over, or?
They're split up. I mean, we get these referrals from all of the schools.
I mean, the ones that had perfect attendance, was that?
Oh, it's again, it's a combination, but if you want,
I'm
knowing
just
that
curious.
you're curious.
Thank you.
I can write that down to get. Anybody else?
Just, are you seeing a lot of homeless youth?
I would not
Families or
say a
homeless?
lot, no.
No, okay.
We do on the occasional basis, but it's rare.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any communities updates? Anything you want to share, Dave? Kathy, anything?
I was just going to circle back around to the Warming House Initiative. Dave, do you know what the name of that committee was? I can't remember. We talked about it, I think, Katie, we've talked about the Warming House Initiative where they were trying to get a warming house established for homeless people to get them off the streets at night. And I know that group is still running. I don't really know where they're at with it. Pastor Grace from the Methodist Church, I know, is on that committee. And I would ask her, if possible, to come next month and maybe give us a little update. I know it's still a problem, more of a problem than I think we probably realize. And so I know they still are in existence. I know they haven't been able to raise the money to buy a building, but they still are doing some things like trying to provide jackets, laundry tokens, I mean, different things to aid those people even though they're homeless still. So I would ask her to come next month maybe if she can and
That'd be
just give us a
great.
little update on what's going on there.
Yeah.
So we could stay in touch.
I think that would be great. We're seeing some calls coming in through dispatch. Actually, law enforcement has been very community focused in the last month or so, reaching out and trying to find resources and things for people. We're probably going to be looking at how we can pull some, at least things that they would have at their fingertips, but also, I didn't even know where the warming house initiative was either, so that would be really good. And not really knowing exactly what Salvation Army is doing and how that all is working. So we're doing some reaching out on that, so maybe we can report out on that.
Do we know what the current homeless number is?
No. And I can't remember how that's tracked. It's tracked by,
I don't know, I think it'd be hard to put a number on it, because when you think homeless, you think nowhere, but homeless is not necessarily nowhere. It's, I sleep on a friend's couch for a week, and then I go to another friend's house for a week, and then my kids are at the aunt's house for a month, and then my kids are over here for a month. And I just do know in the school system, just from a couple friends of mine who work in the Hayward school system, in the front end, in other words, not teachers or whatever, and they have indicated to me that there's a lot more children in those situations than people realize. And so like they try to keep stuff on hand, clothing, toiletries, things like that, that they get from churches and other groups to have for those children, because they often show up. They maybe have slept in those clothes for 2 days or whatever, and so they do try to intervene, but I think there's more of it out there than probably we realize.
I have to agree with that. And also, some of those families cannot get into housing for prior action or activity or whatever. And that hardship is there, and so they're needing support too. But I know like with our emergency shelter, that's pretty much reaches capacity, and it's full, people keep, you know what I mean? So it's being utilized. And the men's shelter is more in line now with recovery, as far as I know, right, Judge?
yeah, oh, yep, she stepped out.
So I know that they're being utilized the best ways they can. So we appreciate the law enforcement when they try to get the people to help as quickly as they can with the resources we have in the community, because that's what the need is. And but I just wanted to say I agree. There's more out there than we know.
And Katie, you deal with that, not being able to find housing, because I know that's been, I mean, we see that with people that are on our caseload.
Correct. That's the largest barrier, I would say, for our department here in Sawyer County to finding services. Is it's hard to help someone accomplish the things that they need when they don't even have a home. And so that is definitely, I know we have 4 that 2 are just released from prison. 2, I don't know their exact story, but we have 4 right now that we're funding at the Holiday Inn. So, and that's only temporary. But
Yeah, I know about those, because then they come in, like, when I lose this, do you have something? And we don't have anything for them, so. Okay, this will be a good follow-up discussion. Okay, outside committee updates. Any correspondence, reports? Anything from any meetings? And I think we've added future items. Any other future agenda items that anybody has thought about? Yep, I've got that marked down. Okay, then this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.